hit the button, and then hit the secondary button.
Somebody quote Phil Spencer.
Uh,
All right, we're live. Hey, welcome to
millions of consoles.
D-Bet, no. Welcome to Real Deal Xbox Podcast. Obviously, every single Tuesday at this time. And thank you guys for joining me. If you're in the chat, sorry we're a little bit late. We're figuring out a few of these topics here and getting some things together. But we do appreciate you guys for joining us again. Hit the like button. Tell people we're live. We do appreciate it. Because in these times of such drought and some of you might have herpes, we do also have some gaming news. There's bad and there's good. And with some of the bad, you got to take the good. But we got some intros, we got some shout outs, and then obviously, guys, want to know your thoughts on a lot of this stuff. Let me know how the audio sounds as well. But hey, D-Batch, brother, another week, another show.
Yeah, man, we got some good topics today. Apparently, Xbox gamers have no games to play today. Apparently, but we got some great topics. So, yeah, we got some good guests on the show today too. So it should be a good show. I'm excited. Let's go.
Can I just say something? You're a fucking stormtrooper that went down with some Chaos Blade wings from StarCraft into this show. I'm looking at your gameplay and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know. I didn't want to use Fortnite footage, man, but it was the first thing. Well, I've got some older footage of some older games, but it's basically the most recent stuff that I've captured. So, yeah, Fortnite. It's a crazy game. Ashtray was in here and literally ran around to guys. He tried to kill me, ran out of ammo, ran back and got some from a dead, guy next to me, and then ran back and killed him. I don't know who it was or what toddler was on the cell phone, but it was concerning. Hey, Zalker, another week, another RDX.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the topics we have on hand. We actually have a lot of topics, to be quite honest. We have Halo dropping an update, we got Xbox updates, and we got a bunch of Call of Duty updates, not to mention, yeah, we're going to talk about God of War and that Metacritic, and I'm looking forward to that game like fucking crazy, so let's get into it. The chat's on fire already. You can see it just scrolling by. I'm down, man. Let's do this.
Boba Fett enabled toilet mics. Yeah, none of those here, thankfully. Not this week.
Not this week. I'm all right now.
Yeah, he's fine. And then we've also got a couple guests, a couple of people filling in. One for Fonz Relic. At the last minute, he had a cancellation. Hopefully everything's fine there. I know why, but I don't know how much he's going to say about it on Twitter or anything like that if he's going to, so I won't say nothing. But we've also got someone filling in for Tim who said he can't wait to be back next week. And that's going to be Jesse. Man, it's good to get you on here. I've heard your show, and I wanted to have you on here because I don't see you anywhere else. And that's something about my show. I like to try to get people on the show that haven't really, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of fresh blood. So welcome to the show, and thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I when you and Fonz reached out to me, I was kind of confused because I really didn't think anyone in the world ever had seen my show before. So it's nice to be seen that way, and I'm just excited to be here and talk some Xbox.
Yeah. And just be yourself, have fun, and obviously let us know if D-Batch is bothering you behind the scenes. He does that sometimes. And we've also got Hargeet
Jesse,
Chaney.
I see you.
Thank you.
We've got Hargeet Chaney as well. First person I always think of is Hargeet, right? He's the sixth man of the year. He's awesome. So thanks for joining, Hargeet.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it'd be fun. We definitely have some interesting topics, and yeah, go Halo.
Hey, Ace Out Gamer, by the way, he says, let's go. Hey, everyone. I really want to hear about FSR 3.0. Yeah, that's right. I got to change the fucking title. I meant 2. All right. There's supposed to be 2 there. But we are also going to talk about 3.
Fucking title.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a 2 there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 2, not a 3. But Cyberpunk, they did come out and say, I guess we can just mention that now. They did come out and say Cyberpunk's going to have 2.1, right? And it's going to be coming to consoles later next year, right? D-Batch?
I don't know exactly. I was expecting the updates coming really soon from the release that they put out. So I don't know if it's quite next year, but I know that it is coming to it. I think it's this update that it's supposed to come to. So
I think it's PC first.
Oh, so it's PC first. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a little research on that. But nonetheless, you guys have heard me talk about it so much on this show, and it finally we're starting to see a game of substance at least getting FSR 2.0. And now this is 2.1. And there was recently an update. I'm not sure if the update is 2.2 or if 2.1 is the update, but one of the updates gets rid of some of the ghosting that you see on some of the FSR stuff.
Go ahead. I'm going to say right now, it is on consoles. They added support for AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.1 for PC and next-gen consoles only. So it is out there right now, and the game did not receive the DLSS 3.0 patch just yet, but they got DLSS 2 on there, and it also has the FSR. So yes, next-gen consoles only have it.
Is
So
it
you can
all
do it
next-gen
right now.
consoles, or?
Yes, this means current-gen consoles such as Xbox Series X and S or the PlayStation 5 are supported right now, is what it says on this article right now.
Yeah, that's what
Did Jim
I was.
Ryan write
That's
the
what
article?
I think so. It says Jim Flyin. I don't know. He's not the same person.
Yeah, that's what I heard today, and I some people were telling me that they played it. So I haven't played it, so that's why I couldn't confirm it. But some people said that they actually played it today, and that the image quality is much improved. And like I've been saying for so long, FSR is such a great tool, and hopefully this paves the way for other big AAA developers to start using this, because the performance increase what you get with FSR is tremendous. And I don't know the toggles that are in this game because I haven't tried it since the update, but you usually get like a quality preset, a performance preset, so you can play around with, you know, the fidelity that you want to get the performance that you want. And like I said, the uptake is incredible. And with a game like Cyberpunk, which is so crippling on like even the top hardware out there, you need some type of DLSS or FSR to run it at really good frame rates. It bodes well for.
I don't think the FSR 2 is on console right now.
I mean, it says it right here,
2.1.
FSR 2.1, and it says that this is not the first game. The first game to support this has been on the Xbox, which was Scorn, and then the next one was PS5's Arcadigon or Arcadidon. I don't know.
Arcadian.
Arcadian.
Arcade.
Fucking A.
So yeah,
Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me, bitch.
Maybe see, this is the problem with so many sources out there too, because it does say in the bottom of the patch notes in this article, they say that the patch is coming for next gen consoles. FSR 2.1 PC patch is first, but you know, again, that's the problem with so many sources. Maybe this one's wrong. Let us know.
That might have been yesterday. That might have been yesterday, because this started coming out yesterday. So I think the patch dropped today. And like I said, some people told me that they've already played it and they noticed a difference on it. So of course I got to verify for myself, but I'm just going to take it at face value. And nonetheless, just having it finally on a AAA game, you're going to see the big uptick in performance. And I need them to use this across a whole host of games. You know, Gotham Knights could benefit from it. I did a little bit of digging. I last week I said, or the week before I said, that A Plague's Tale Requiem could use FSR. Well, apparently they're using temporal anti-aliasing or temporal upscaling in the game. So if they were to add FSR 2 to it, you'd get kind of modest gains. So I think with that game, it is where it is. But a lot of other games, it could benefit from. And we just need to see this on a regular. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, I'm the guy that's been out there posting a lot of videos, you know, up to the Xbox Series X release, after the Xbox Series X release, about the tools and all of the, you know, mesh shaders and
all the shit that it can
architecture, all the stuff that it can do. And, you know, and I'll be honest, you know, I kind of put it out there that this is coming to the Xbox because Microsoft said this is coming to the Xbox, that it is capable of it. And it's been disheartening to see in the last year and a half that, you know, these features are like non-existent in most games. And, you know, we shouldn't be rejoicing, you know, 2 years after the fact that we're finally getting this in the game. It should be the norm. And I hope this is a sign of things to come, that we're going to see FSR 2 implemented in a lot more games. But I am excited, and especially for Cyberpunk, which kind of ran like crap without it. You know, it's probably going to be much more playable right now. I can't wait to dig into it myself and see, you know, all the other big channels do the deep dives and show us the performance.
You got to do a deep dive, D-Batch. A D-Batch deep dive, which sounds like something you did in the 70s. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, though, Cyberpunk runs great. Even though Series S is running at 60 FPS now. And this aims to, you know, give them even more room to improve visuals, of course. But, yeah, somebody who's been pushing that, you know, arguably more than anyone, the features and all the stuff that the box can do, and, you know, bitched about it not being there for a while. Developers now have to utilize these things that are there, right? And there are ways that Microsoft could probably make that a bit easier, as we'll see them implement and kind of improve the GDK. But ultimately, it's decision by developers right now and what they're building and what's necessary, and we will ultimately have to see. But again, Cyberpunk 2.1 FSR coming to consoles or on console now. Let us know if you tried it. I'm not entirely sure if it's there or coming later, but right now we're seeing people say that it is on there. we will have to check back. Zalker, catch us up on these chats real quick, and big shout out to, let me look here. We just started a few minutes ago. 500 people already watched us live, guys. Thank you very much for showing up early. We do appreciate it. Hit the like button. Tell the buddies who we're live. We got the latest topics, and I'm done stalling for Zalker.
Yeah, I got it. We got Ace Out Gaming. He says, let's go. Hey, everyone. I really want to hear about FSR 3.0. It's supposed to be 2.0. Saw D's video. Also, how does everyone feel about the new Sonic game? Is it worth buying? I haven't played the Sonic game. I'm just waiting for God of War. I just beat Gotham Knights, so I'm just going to jump into God of War tonight and tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, man.
You're not jumping into Sonic first?
No,
What?
Not even close. No, I mean, I'd rather play Evil West and all those other games first.
Okay. Go ahead and get
And
that.
look, I mean, it looks all right. So we got KY Bobby, so Dave Bautista as Marcus Phoenix on Netflix. No other option is available. Oh, yeah, and the show is fire. Appreciate it, KY. And yeah, we'll get into that Netflix thing a little bit later. It's in the topics. Don't you worry. We got Face 23 Brooklyn, New York. He says, God of War Ragnarok is going to beat Elden Ring for Game of the Year. I'm going to stop reading it right there. Fuck you. No, it's not.
He
No, I'm
says, and
joking.
I don't know how anyone can wait a year. Yeah, do you really think it's going to be Elden Ring, though? Elden Ring was, what, a 96, 97 overall in meta?
I don't think so. Actually, let me check what Elden Ring is.
Yeah,
Elden
Elden
Ring
Ring
was a
had a lot of hoopla behind it.
Elden
but I
Ring has
gotta
a
say-
96 and a 94. So 96 on PS5, 94 on PC, and 96 on the Series X. So it's right there. Like God of War is a 94 right now.
Chat, what do you think Elden Ring is going to win Game of the Year? Let us know.
I just want to add this. It's not what have you done. It's what have you done for me lately. And I think God of War is going to be a lot fresher in gamers' minds, and that is an area where it could beat it out. But I gotta say, I haven't played the game, but I'm just gonna say, like, taking the temperature of gamers, man, gamers were really rabid for that Elden Ring for months, man, for months and months and months. So
It killed everything.
gonna
It was the only news item out there in gaming for YouTube, streaming, everything. Like everybody was playing it. It like transcended the whole gaming fucking universe. Everybody was playing it. Like
Yeah.
that's that. Like I don't know, man. That you can't beat that. And he says, "Are you going to wait a year or two to play God of War Ragnarok on PC because they don't like PlayStation?" People like that. Like I'm a person that likes playing on PC, and I'm not waiting. I can't. This is one of my favorite franchises next to StarCraft and Gears. I'm going to play this. Like I have it pre-downloaded already. And your goddamn poll, I'm hitting no.
Will
Fuck you.
Will it beat Elden Ring, chat? The poll's up right now. We'll come back to that. And obviously,
we got a
it's not
couple
that
more.
we don't like PlayStation. It's just a lot of the fans out there are a little nuts, man. One of them showed up naked in my house. Go ahead.
That's hot. We got DV83RX. He says, "Sup guys, finally caught another live show. Hit that like button. Peace."
That's Deviator
Thanks,
X.
man.
And shout out to him.
Deviator X. Jesus Christ. We got Danny Passion Official. Hey, Zalker. Oh, hey. Now we know that RDNA 2.0 holds it was AMD problem, no Microsoft. Let's go give us an amazing show as usual, dealer. I think he's talking about FSR 2.0, not RDNA 2. FSR 2.0. Like how a dealer was saying that Xbox can make it easier.
Danny's a little, well, yeah, that is not agreeing with you at all, though. But yeah, Danny is, he's a little drunk right now. Forgive him, okay? He's no commas or nothing, or some words are missing. But, I mean, again, Cyberpunk, that's cool. I didn't intend for that to be the beginning topic. Now I got to get back to where I was.
You changed the title.
I did. I told you. I had to change the title.
I literally looked and it says FSR 2.1.
Hey, we're still going to talk about FSR 3, but I put it in the wrong place. God of War Ragnarok did come out to the 94 meta. There's a lot of guys out there that are saying it's media bias again. And I would just say, please stop. At this point, the last God of War, one of my favorite games of all time. You got to give him credit where there's credit's due, and ask the Xbox to try to compete, not necessarily in that vein of that type of game or genre, but you've said this 1,000 times. It benefits us all, right? So, Jesse, have you ever played God of War 2018? I guess we can test you right now on this.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
Okay, well, you failed the test. You're supposed to say, fuck God of War.
I mean,
I'm an Xbox guy.
I meant, I played the old God of War on PS2. The new one sucks. What's nervous?
That's right. Get on message.
They're
getting there,
good
Jesse.
games, man. They're good games.
Okay. I love the new one especially.
Yeah, and there's some people in the chat that they feel that way. Some people might not. Some people may not have played them, but trust me, if I'm sitting here telling you it's like one of the best games ever made,
Good game.
there ain't many more guys that are Xbox, I feel like, than me when it comes to what I play on. So it's it's just the truth. So maybe this one's reviewing higher than I thought it would. I thought it'd be a 91 maybe because it's new creative director. Apparently he's a pimp too, right? He's a pimp too.
Yeah.
Zucker
it's
called
hard
it.
to
I think
follow
he
up.
said a 92, 91. And yeah,
No, I
that's
said 90, 93 to 94.
93
And I said, I was like, I think it's gonna hit 94, and then I was like, it was at 95, and then IGN Korea came in with that big old 6 and said, "Fuck you." It said, "Fuck you." It's a 94, and then that guy got like attacked like crazy. And I mean, don't get me wrong, but like every outside of that like whole troll thing, where it was kind of funny, let's be real. But outside of all that, like every reviewer that talked about this game, like some of the reviewers you hear, like they're like, you knew God of War was going to be a good game going in, and you were like, yeah, it's going to be good because the last one, and then you forget how good the last one is until you play this one, and then you realize how much more expansive it got. A lot of the reviewers even told me that, like, you know, told us, I guess, or while I was listening to them, they said, I don't even want to show you on screen some of the stuff, and I don't want to spoil anything because the experience is so well done.
Like
so when you hear that, you're like,
because he's being an asshole. Like, does that get worse? Because that was my least favorite part of the last game.
No, and apparently Atreus is like grown up, and it's not like he just doesn't listen. Like he's not like, "Oh, Dad." He's just like is becoming his own man, and it's like they're like it's a lot better, and they're like it's just a way better dynamic, a way better game, and they improved on every single aspect of the first game.
So he's being
and
less
that
of
to
a
me
bitch,
is awesome.
Basically what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean, Atreus wasn't a bitch, bro. He killed like 95 dark elves.
He was like going through puberty and he was being an asshole. Like that was my least favorite part of the last game. But again, Dreadpool, by the way, in the chat, he says if Elden Ring doesn't win Game of the Year, it's all a scam. Shout out to Dreadpool. Yeah, I mean, by the ratings, Zalker, it might win. Elden Ring might win.
I mean, I hope. Listen, Elden Ring was like one of those games where it like blew my mind. I was like, I have 200 hours in it on Xbox and like another, I think like 70 to 100 hours on PC. Like that game like took over my life. That's all I was playing. Like and nothing else.
Hey,
I don't see a world where it's not Elden Ring, to be honest.
Well, by a number standpoint, right?
Skyrim. It's got that Skyrim, Breath of the Wild kind of like water cooler thing with it. Everyone stopped and paid attention to that game when it came out.
That was a weird time.
And it was like nothing you've ever seen, right? Like you're like in this big castle and you're like, this is insane. And there's like 7 other ones like it. And you're like, what the fuck? Like just insane. But God of War, we got to put it to where it is. Like God of War is going to get that respect because it's a well-made game and it's bigger than the first one. And you know, the combat has always been tight at Sony Santa Monica. They've like, that's God of War is the one game, I've always said this is the one game where it made me forget I was playing with the PlayStation controller, and I hate the PlayStation controller. I hate it, and especially the PS4 and PS3 ones.
I mean, toxic bitch. Come on.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I literally was like, oh yeah, I forgot I was playing with this fucking thing. So yeah, it's great.
Wrapped around all the freaking triggers, all weird. By the way, shout out to Xbot and Umbra and all the moderators of the show, Boss Lethal Papa. But Xbot mentioned Meta, and I forgot about that because I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But what's happening with Meta and all that stuff right now? Anybody, you want to explain it? Hargi, I know you're big into this type of stuff especially, but what's going on with Meta that maybe people should or would want to know?
Meta, you mean Facebook?
Yeah,
Do you
fraud
mean Metacritic?
Losing money, can tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally surprised with everything. I know they're trying to like they are losing, and they're I think they laid off how much, like 5%. There was like a big layoff there, right? So I mean, but everybody's
affecting
doing
like
that,
their VR and all that stuff, right?
Affected everything.
Yeah, I like their whole play on trying to make this metaverse thing. I don't know if it's really working.
Yeah, it's not.
So, and it's an interesting pivot. But you know, at some point, reality is going to set in. It's probably not going to take. But we'll see. They're trying to invest in it to see if that's something that's going to happen. But yeah, they are kind of losing market, and it's.
Well,
can I say
did they ever
something?
figure out what the fuck Meta was or what it was? Did they ever figure out what the hell they were doing over there yet?
It's where you live, sir.
Sort of in a virtual
I think-
sort of live.
I think
Yeah,
the
in a virtual
problem.
world.
I think the problem with Meta is that they were trying. It's basically doing what we do in the real world, but doing it in the virtual world. And I think the problem with Facebook is that everybody doesn't want them to be tagging their information, tagging their whereabouts. The security issues, I think, are a big thing why it's not doing as good. I think it was another company that was trying to bring Meta to the forefront. I think they'd be a little bit more successful, but I just. It's like PS Home, like remember how that was, like how
Yeah.
you would go into that
I mean, it's,
ecosystem
yes.
and
I mean, that's
make
a
your
weird
own house.
I
and
mean,
stuff.
let's be fucking
Well,
real.
in
Let's
a
be
way,
real.
in a way, it's
When
pretty similar.
Zuckerberg,
Go ahead, Zucker. Finish this meta shit up. I don't want to stay on it for
yeah,
long.
I like this is dumb, but honestly, when Zuckerberg went up in front of Congress or wherever he did and looked like a goddamn android up there, that's when people were like, maybe I shouldn't be using this fucking platform.
Beep boop.
That's just when it started going downhill. Like he just looked awkward. It was weird. But I want to go back to the Metascore for one quick second because Face 23 Broken New York brought out he tagged me in the chat and he said Red Dead Redemption 2 had a higher meta than God of War, and God of War won Game of the Year that year.
That's true,
And that's
recency
true,
bias,
and that's
perhaps.
and that's like and that's what happened. And Red Dead Redemption is one of the most overrated games ever, and it's trash. So let's move on. And God of War deserved that Game of the Year.
All right,
There you go.
said the same thing about Days Gone, though.
M's a
Yeah,
spite
Days Gone's
more.
not Game of the Year.
Hey,
Days Gone, I still gave it like a 7.98. It's pretty decent on PC.
Yeah. Hey, Meat Puppet, by the way, he says RDX is the best gaming podcast out there. He says Zuck is a fraud. We love turtles. You know, I can't believe I forgot this, but I was sidetracked by something else. The first time I've probably ever done this. I forgot to give a shout out to the patron tier real quick, so I got to do that. Just real quick here. We got some new ones, and I definitely want to get these guys in there. So Kent66, shout out to you. We got No Hands Ninja. We got Galveston, shout out to you. Calypso. We've also got Nathan Scott. We got Fierce Fuzz. We got Hargy. We got Sean Dasley. We got Reluctant Dodo, Dub Mobile, Ruben Almighty, Ricky Fallon, Fault Lines, The Bad Boy Live, Nano. Big shout out to Nano, man. He sent me so many articles and stuff today. Big help. Zordon, Costanza, KY Bob, Assassin Lupa, Foreign Object, Teo, John Blue, Vec Boss, Suicide Kings, Tasha Genie. We also got Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. That shout out to you guys in the shout out tier. I just posted the giveaway stuff on Discord today as well. So if you're on Discord, go to the member patron tier tab and go in there and let me know what you guys want. New game, old game, Game Pass, whatever. But again, God of War, doing great. We kind of expected at least a 9. It's doing better than that. Surprising to me. And, hey.
Who's playing it this weekend, by the way? Because I got it pre-downloaded. I'm playing it. I legit took Friday off.
Listen,
like,
we
I'm
gave
fucking
them their
going on.
roses, okay? You're really rubbing this in.
Are
right
you
now.
playing it this weekend? Who's playing it?
Who's playing?
I'm playing it tonight. What do you mean?
Hell yeah, you are. I'm playing it in T minus fucking 3 hours.
Y'all playing multiplayer co-op?
I'm Atreus.
Stupid.
There's no co-op in that, but there is in Halo. But anyways, I won't be playing because I don't have a PS5 anymore.
What a fucking
He had to make
evil
room in his
Marvel
house,
villain laugh.
He was running out of places to sleep. Hey, speaking of co-op, this doesn't have co-op either. It's the Gears of War. It's coming back in a moderately sized way. Netflix is making a animated TV series and a movie. So that movie we've been hearing about forever. Looks like Netflix found it in the trash can, and hopefully they can salvage it. They've had some decent original content. Who are they getting to play everybody? Is there any other stuff out there?
They don't know
No
none of that
casting.
yet.
I did
No
see.
casting,
I did.
no anybody attached to it directing. Like they apparently were in huge bidding with like Amazon, Paramount, like a bunch of companies are in bidding for this thing. So they won out, and the thing that got me the most excited, I'm looking forward to the movie. Don't get me wrong, the live action movie I hope is great, but that adult like animated series is sick because there's been some really well done animation on Netflix. Like League of
Yes.
Legends Arcane is fucking
Even Cyberpunk.
amazing, and the Cyberpunk too. It's anime. I actually enjoyed it. I was like, I'm actually enjoying this. This is pretty fucking cool. So yeah.
Anime has nothing to do with why you don't like anime cartoons. It's usually because you choose the weirdest shit.
I don't choose anything. My friends are like, you gotta watch this and then this. I'm like, this is fucking trash.
Go ahead, D.
According to the article, it says that they're going to do the movie first, followed by the animated series. So I'm excited for that. I saw somebody do like a mock casting of it. Like they casted like The Rock and Batista and John Cena. When I matched them up to the character, I was like, oh shit, that's pretty decent. But I obviously that's going to be pretty hard to get out of those guys.
Well, Batista actually wants to play Marcus Phoenix. He's been on record, and that's why he was in the game. So that could be likely, but yeah.
Yeah, but The Rock and John Cena, I don't know.
Hold the phone. Fonzarelli's here, boys and girls.
Fonzarelli, make up your mind.
Hey.
No, everything all right?
Dude, I told you what was going on, man.
Dude,
and I
we
was
already
able to get back,
recasted you.
so-
We recasted you, man.
No.
Everybody say hi to Jessarelli.
I don't know if you guys know if Fonz is here. But Fonz, we were just talking about some shit you missed, and God of War's doing great, and there's a Gears of War
God of War's
movie.
going to be fantastic. Gears of War, I don't know about Gears of War, man. This movie.
Never played it, never liked it.
Never played it, never liked it. No, I'm just kidding. I like Gears of War and stuff. It's just every time there's a movie adaptation for video games and stuff, I'm always kind of side-eyeing it. I don't know if it's going to be, good or not. And we'll see. I mean, is this going to be a really big budget thing?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, they said that it's an adult animated show after that, but they said it's a big full feature-length film. So they're going all in on it. And they were saying earlier, they outbidded, like it was like multiple companies bidding for this. Like multiples. So
Dollar
they
Tree
paid money for
Productions
it.
was up front until Netflix
Dollar
kicked
Tree
in.
Productions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Who
I
who was going to play Marcus Phoenix?
Nobody yet.
No
but
information.
people are saying, but no, they don't know anybody yet. But everybody's saying Dave Bautista.
No, not that guy.
He's perfect. He
like
does
him,
the grunt thing and he can kill stuff. But hey, we got 72% of people don't think God of War is going to be Elden Ring for Game of the Year. And
I don't think it's going to beat it either. I really don't. God of War is looking like a phenomenal game, but at the end of the day, it's really about popularity, and I don't think the popularity is going to be above what Elden Ring brought for so many damn months. We had so many people on different platforms. That's the key here.
Mhm.
So many different platforms playing Elden Ring. And then you have this one ecosystem that's allowed to play God of War right now.
that's a good point.
And so I think that it's like, if that were to overtake what Elden Ring has
But
already
the same
brought to
thing
the
happened
masses.
to Red Dead, though. Remember, it's multi-plat. It was rated
Yeah.
higher and it still lost.
Yeah, but I think with Red Dead, okay, so God of War 2018 coming out at the time, it was a departure from the other God of Wars, and it was so different from what we've seen in Kratos and God of War in the other games, and it changed up. It changed the whole game. I mean, the mechanics, everything was a different look to Kratos. The story, it was so different that people really took notice and said, "Hey, this game is phenomenal." And even though I was more of a fan of Red Dead that year and I wanted Red Dead to win, at the end of the day, I wasn't mad that God of War 2018 won because it was a phenomenal game as well. So, but this time it's more of the same. Sure, they've changed up a few things here and there, but it's essentially the same damn game. It's just a continuation. And before anybody says anything, that's what all the reviewers have said. It's just a continuation of where we left off
Why
last
wouldn't
time.
it be? It's a sequel.
And yeah, exactly. And if it was, a lot of people were saying that if this was combined with the first game, it would be like one epic, big, long, fantastic journey, right?
That's the first game, though. It would probably be too long.
No,
if
I
they
know,
did
but
that.
at the end of the day, it's not. It shouldn't overtake Elden Ring because of the fact that Elden Ring is something fresh and different for a lot of different people out there on different platforms. And man, it was so popular for so many months. And
So who was
I
it that
can't
asked
see it
if
doing it.
people were willing to wait for the PC version, which will happen, or get it on PlayStation Now? We've got someone in the chat here. Shout out to Danny, Passion Official.
That was Face 23 Brooklyn who brought that up.
Well, if Danny stepped up with a $2 super chat, he says, sold my PS5 last month, and he did this knowing God of War was coming. He said, I'll play God of War on the PC. And that's at least one person. I'm sure there are more of you in the chat. They'll let us know.
Oh, it was me.
You're going to play it on PC. Hargeet's going to play it on PC.
you're gonna wait a year.
Yeah, wait a year, but
It'll be a year.
does that matter?
Yeah.
Does that matter to some people? I don't know.
No. If you don't suffer from FOMO like I do and get the story ruined for you and everything like that, then yeah, it's fine. You can wait. I can't wait. I have to play this freaking
Wait,
game.
the story of Ragnarok, because we've
gotta
never
be-
heard that before.
I gotta be honest here.
It's a bit different with these games, though, Hargeet. You know that.
Yeah, Hargeet. No,
What up?
Well, I will say, as somebody that can play on both, like, and right, like I'm there's some games that I am waiting for, to come to PC from Sony. Like I'm gonna wait for, and I own these on PlayStation 5, but I'd rather play it with like a mouse and keyboard, like Returnal, right?
Ew.
Days Gone, stuff like that. Like I just enjoy playing it that way. God of War, I was talking to Hargy for a while. I was like, maybe I wait, and then. I finished the first God of War on Steam Deck, like the first one ever.
Steam
And
Deck.
I just can't wait, man. It's not gonna happen.
But you know what we don't have to wait for anymore? Is this topic to change. And also the Halo Winter Update. That's something that people here can enjoy if they just have an Xbox. That's bringing not only new maps, this is bringing a Forge beta and co-op as well. Has anybody tried this or anything?
Oh, did you hear what
Yeah.
Phil said about this update?
He said, fuck Halo.
No, this is what he said.
This is about delivering great exclusive
Fucking
games for
hate
you
you.
that
Yeah.
ship on
Yeah, we hate you
platforms
now.
where Game Pass exists.
We hate you now.
So I did get to try it out. I turned on Forge, and there's a troll like map right there called the Pit, right? Which is supposed to be that Halo 3 map, but it's a square, literally just a square room, and there's a little pit in the middle of it.
So it's an ET throwback.
Yeah, so it's a little troll, but yeah, it looks like it'll be good. I tried to load up the new maps, just couldn't get time to do it, but yeah, they're at least there. I saw that we do have co-op available now. Yay!
I wanted to capture some of that, but the Elgato had an update for the capture card. This is a great topic, I know, right? But they support VRR through the capture card now, which I thought they would just
awesome
come out with another capture card and basically charge you for it. This surprised me. First time I booted up the card, though, after the update, my computer blue screen, which is great. But then it worked fine after that, and then I wasn't able to have enough time to even get into the damn game. So, again, co-op, I'm really excited for this. I've been telling people, especially a group from Australia, that I'll jump back into that damn game and get when the co-op comes out and kind of get
it's out.
familiar with it. So I'm gonna try it. Jesse, have you played any of the co-op update or any of the new stuff with Halo?
Not yet. That's definitely on my docket for this weekend. But I'm just really excited for Forge and to finally have the thing Halo Infinite has been so sorely lacking, to give it all that content
Dick
it doesn't
maps.
have. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be maps.
big dicks
like
all
dicks.
over the map. That's all I want.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure some of you in
Scorn
the chat
meets
have already
Halo.
been on that, making those maps. So let us know if you made any of those. But the pit map sounds great. Fonz has obviously tried the co-op. He's loving it. You know.
Yeah, you know me in co-op. Yeah, let's set a date.
Hey, you like
What do you
Arthur
think?
Nice in co-op?
What do you think about
Yeah.
the timing for this update, though? Isn't it kind of unfortunate for Halo Infinite?
I was kind of thinking about that too, Jesse, because like Call of Duty's dominating right now. Like
Modern Warfare
everybody
2
is
is so
literally is killing it. And what people don't understand is that next fucking week is Warzone. The Warzone 2 is coming out on the 16th, and it's like that's like nobody. Like we're all waiting for Warzone. At least me and my friends. We're leveling our guns. I'm like 50 or whatever now, level 50, and we've just been playing to level up our guns for Warzone because I just can't wait for that. And
Bro, do the
like
co-op
Halo,
missions if you want to level shit up.
Are they? Is that how? Really? Is
I
that like the bit to level up your guns?
played 3 co-op missions. I haven't gone back to them, but I played through them once. And I mean, the guns level up like crazy because you're just murdering like waves of AI, especially on the 3rd co-op mission.
You know what me and my friends do? We do kill confirmed, and we never confirm the kills, and so we'll just kill like 50 people, and then they'll start talking shit. They're like, "Why aren't you grabbing our confirmed?"
Because I don't want to, bitch. You go out
Because
there
I'm
and
not
do
grabbing it. Your little tag's on the floor. There it is, in your body too, you bitch.
it. Yeah,
Wipe yourself off. You did.
Yeah, you did. You know what else is dead? Well, apparently that Halo topic. I mean, there was some excitement, but you know,
Damn it.
You know what? I'm gonna record.
Yeah,
I'm gonna record
fun.
some.
Already?
Bonds. We're gonna record some of this damn co-op gameplay. We're gonna have it on the show.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
You can
Re-download
play it
it.
on
Listen.
PC with ray tracing.
I don't want to
Can I-
play it on PC. Damn it.
Hold on. Can we also talk about like? I'm glad that they're updating it, and I'm glad that like, we didn't talk about this last week, but like Matt Booty basically saying, hey, like Halo was basically like a sprinter or a racer tripping at the finish line. He's like, it's on us to fix it.
Yeah.
And he says that it's on us to remedy that. And this update, I will say, is a step in that direction. But they just need a lot more stuff to come to it, especially when you're competing with, I guess, like what it might soon be your own first party, like Call of Duty. So, you know, like when you look at stuff like that, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad people are excited for it. I know Hargeet's been playing Halo for like crazy, like probably more than anyone else I know, like next to like Jedi Knight Peter and a bunch of other people in the community. I've played with them and we had a fucking blast. But at the end of the day, I'm going to choose Call of Duty right now over it, no matter what update they bring out, because I don't know, that's just me.
If they remove that damn border map, I don't know, man. It's gonna piss me off. I love that map. Everyone's bitching because the cars explode. Like, stay the fuck away from them for a minute.
Thank you.
I love that. I love
that map. Yeah,
Yep.
that map is
And
so
apparently
fun.
they got to make some changes to it. Boba was telling me in a chat because we actually talk on it, you know, because he signed my forehead once. Basically, he was saying that they're doing a lot of shit to get the maps ripped away from them. So, like the hotel map, you know, apparently there's people around. It's too similar to an actual hotel or something like that. So there's some legal stuff going on. The same with the border map. They might have to make some changes because of Warzone. I'm not sure what's going on there. If only Boba could literally just message me and tell me what he said.
At the end of the day, like I like the multiplayer, but when Warzone comes out, that's literally all I'm gonna play is Warzone. Like I just like the Warzone game and it's fun and I like Apex Legends, all that. So BRs are kind of my shit. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back into it since Fortnite kind of got me back into BRs at all. Like I said, PUBG ruined the genre for me at the time, and now I'm like, all right, this is kind of fun and stupid. But yeah, if you were excited for co-op, it's finally here. It's been a while, and nearly a year. It's finally here, so it's kind of a big deal for people waiting. I know Hargeet was waiting to go through the campaign for that. I know there's several people that were, and also. I know that a lot of people, there was at least 6 people were waiting for the new Project Cars game, okay? You got to be honest, at least 6 minimum. And EA already killed it off. So EA bought the studio that made Project Cars, and now they're no longer making Project Cars. Why does
Makes
EA
sense.
do this every time? I mean, I fucking think Project Cars is garbage. And anybody who's actually even ridden in a car should know that
Well, then you answer
cars
your
are
own
not-
question.
But still,
That's
like,
why.
you don't want them to buy him up and say, nope, fuck what you were doing. At least give him one more shot, like with a better funding.
Maybe they swoop up these companies and they're like, you know what, this isn't your thing, but we think this will be. So why don't you make us?
And that's
some
why you're going to make
trash?
us Battlefield Hardline, Volition. Have fun, or a fucking
Yeah, Battlefield
the
Hardline,
Dead Space
yeah.
developers. They made them make Battlefield Hardline, and when that game wasn't successful, they shut them down.
Well, I think that they're
Terrible.
going to put these people, from what I can see, right? Because EA also bought Code Breakers, right?
Codemasters.
That made
Yeah,
Code
Code
Masters.
Masters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Code
Codebreakers.
Masters.
But
That
they're
made,
still making
that
F1.
made. Yeah, no, that they made Dirt. So maybe they're going to put them on something else. Like, hey, this game sucks, so you're going to help support this
yep.
game now, jackass. So who knows?
I don't know. I can't. I want more competition in that space, but it's expensive to do sim races
We got
correctly.
Gran Turismo.
It
That's
looks
a-
like EA wants to like monopolize the talent in racing games so they can come up with like a way to really rejuvenate Need for Speed and make it a serious competitor with like Forza.
You think they're going to
because-
put them on Need for Speed?
I think they want to like relaunch that IP and basically try and make it a little more competitive because obviously like that franchise has had such a fall from grace and not that
Unbound
it's
is.
bad, it's just not. What was
Have
that?
you seen Unbound with the
Yeah, the new
anime
one-
trails and the things going
That's
on
the new
there?
one. It
Yeah.
looks cool. I actually want to play it,
Hmm.
but it doesn't have the same pull it once did, and all of the sim racing spotlight is hogged by Forza and
It's
what's
true.
the one PlayStation has. Why am I blanking?
Typical Xbox. You know,
Gran
they just-
Turismo.
Gran
Turismo, yeah,
Turismo.
DC. Obviously, a little more like hardcore sim, but still, it's what gets the attention.
Gran Turismo, when it comes to physics and stuff like that, I think it's very, very not sim. I think what the pitting and the qualifying, which is all coming to Forza in a real and like a meaningful way, I think that's the most sim thing about it. But again, like, are they going to put what are they called? Slightly Mad Studios, I think. Like maybe they will put them on Need for Speed, even though this one's done. Maybe they've had them on there for a bit, or maybe they've got plans for annual Need for Speeds again. But hopefully they do bring that stuff forward. Dave Incubus, by the way, shout out to him in the super chat. He says, been listening since RDX's inception. He says, good to be able to listen live for once over in Australia. He also says he wishes Ragnarok was on PC now. But yeah, he'll have to wait. Big shout out to you, buddy. Do appreciate it. And shout out to everyone else in the chat as well. 800 people watching live. We started about 10 minutes late, but I'm glad because Fonz ended up being able to show up and we can get more of his thoughts on things as well. I like to get as many of the panelists as possible
Ooh.
in here. But if only Fonz really liked Project
Racing
Cars.
games.
Yeah, or
Hate
something.
'em.
Yeah, he hates them. There was
No, I
Go
just
ahead.
don't care for him anymore, man. I used to play the shit out of Gran Turismo back in the day on the PS2, but
Mhm.
after that, I just fell off of racing games. Actually, no, that's a lie. It's a lie from the devil's anus. I've played a bunch of
All right.
Forza back in the day. But I spent more time making decals and stuff and putting shit on cars than I was racing them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that only paint. They don't race at all.
Yeah, I was doing that back in the day with the 360, and I spent entirely too much time making shit. Some cool shit, but it was just fun to share that kind of stuff with other people. It was
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of weird stuff that people would paint on these cars.
Oh,
and,
there was some weird shit for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
I can't say I didn't make some weird shit either, but it's another subject.
Hey, by the way, on the Call of Duty stuff, because again, I guess we'll be covering this shit every time it pops up because, well, they'll be part of Xbox sooner than later. At least most people think so. They are dropping another premium experience next year, which is basically, from what it looks like, just like we talked about before, the paid expansion or the DLC of some kind this would be helmed by Sledgehammer Games. So
apparently it's going to be $70 too.
if it's DLC and it's $70, like what do they mean? Is it
That's
standalone
that's
DLC?
that's
Will
the
it work
rumor.
with Modern Warfare?
That's the rumor. It's going to be covering against Modern Warfare 2, so it's not going to be joining like a new era or a new game, but it's going to be DLC. But it might be $70 is what the rumors are, because there's going to be so much content on it.
Like what?
And I'm like, then it's just a Call of Duty. Like you're just making another Call of Duty. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's just what they're saying, and details should be coming, I guess, soon or next year, obviously. But
I don't know why
I
they
don't
would cannibalize themselves when they have a product out there that's huge. It made $100 million in the first weekend, which is massive, and then
it's already over $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean it's only grown and only will grow from there. And they've got all these plans to support it. Warzone's about to hit. That's why I think this will be additive. I don't think that this should be. Maybe it will be standalone, but for $70, that means you're going to have to probably include some kind of multiplayer component because people are already pissed enough as it is with the price increases, right? And why would you cannibalize your own game like that? Makes no sense. Unless you're EA, you release, Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 right next to each other like idiots, and you kill one of your franchises. But I don't know. I think it's DLC of some kind, like single player stuff.
Speaking of Activision, today we got an update from the European deal or whatever the regulators out there,
Yeah.
and they put it into phase. Today they could either approve it or go to phase 2, and they chose to go to phase 2. And phase 2, I think it concludes April 2023.
No, March 23rd, 2023.
Okay, there we go. So
March
from
23rd
now,
is when the decision needs to be made.
yeah, so from now to then, that's when this deal will probably wrap up. And I see this deal going through. Like I've said before, Microsoft has come out ahead of a lot of the shit that Sony's trying to push on this exclusivity stuff, which is really funny because today they just announced that Final Fantasy is going to be exclusive on their platform for 6 months. But that's another story. Microsoft has come out and said it's going to stay on their platform as long as they make a PlayStation. So there's nothing really stopping this deal going through. Sony just basically slowed it down a bit, but I expect this deal to go through. I can't wait till it goes through and this becomes a done deal and we can get on with it. But yeah, just wanted to get an update on that.
I think they've slowed it down, but they also probably added like some provisions there or something, or had Microsoft get to add shit,
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say there's probably these concessions in there that's going on right now. Yeah, like that's going to happen. And I don't know, dealer was just hiding in Colt Eastwood's channel in the game in a dumpster. So I'm just gonna throw that out there for everybody to
You
know.
don't have to bring up Cody Switch channel. It was all right in there.
Yeah.
But
It was all right, But no, I look forward to this just being done, the deal being done. If there's concessions, whatever, I don't care. Just get it done. Call of Duty's massive, and I don't know if you guys saw Blizzard's like quarter 4 or quarter 3 numbers have been insane. Like 25 million new people playing Overwatch.
Oh, yeah,
like
better.
free Overwatch,
yeah.
like and then Call of Duty's doing insane, and they still haven't even dropped the new WoW expansion, which apparently is tracking very well pre-order wise. So they're having a massive, massive end of year.
We're getting Diablo 4 next year. Can't wait for
Oh
that.
my God,
Jesus.
fucking April! Apparently, April.
I'm more excited for that than anything Activision has to offer.
Hi,
me.
Rob
I'm more.
Ferguson.
Diablo 4 is literally my most anticipated game next year. Yes,
it's one of
Starfield.
mine too. I can't wait, bro.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you guys can't wait.
I can't, bitch.
Diablo 4.
Damn, talking
top down,
shit.
button masher is fun. I'm just kidding. Y'all enjoy that. I'll be playing.
Yeah, wait. You don't play.
You'll be
Diablo?
playing.
You
You'll be
don't like
playing
it?
NBA. Shut up.
Yeah, I'll be playing 2K probably.
Oh, okay.
But
I
at
was
least-
gonna
at
co-op
least
with
it'll be
you,
on
but I guess
Xbox,
not.
bitch. Hey,
Oh, that's sad.
Jesse, you looking forward to Diablo 4?
I'm definitely gonna check it out when it comes out. I'm actually not a huge Diablo fan.
Oh shit.
Trash.
I know.
I
I
bitch off of here.
I actually really love like dungeon crawlers, so I don't understand what it is about it that it hasn't. Like I like it. I don't dislike Diablo. It just never hooked me.
Well,
What dungeon crawler do you like? Give me like an example.
Minecraft dungeons.
Yeah, that's a dungeon crawler.
Are you trolling? or-
No, I grew up on Dungeon Siege a lot, playing on PC growing up.
Minecraft dungeons.
Okay, fucking fonts.
Well, don't listen to these frauds, okay? Sometimes I don't know, whatever. I was going to come up with something I forgot. Hey,
I'm a piece of shit,
somebody-
so I don't give a fuck.
all right. Well, Mass Effect, they confirmed Liara's coming back. New Mass Effect, Pons. I know you was talking about your relations with her in the last game, so I know you're going to be happy about this. right?
What's happening?
Liara, Mass Effect. She's coming back.
Oh, Mass Effect. She's coming back for the new Mass Effect.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Some new
Okay.
ones.
All right. Yeah. Look, I'm still on the fence about this whole venture into Mass Effect because of what they did with the last one with Andromeda, and I'm just not. We got to see, man, if this story's going to be up to par. We got to see if they can do it again, recapture what they did with the first three.
It's gonna be
not
hard
the
to
ending
do.
of third, but
The third one
the
wasn't
first
as
two for
bad as
sure.
everyone thinks.
But the third, if you play the third one again, it's amazing. The third one did get substantially better. The gameplay was so much better. The combat, everything was fantastic in it. It's just the ending that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I
only
gotta
thing
say,
that was kinda bad.
Andromeda's probably the best one ever.
You're a bitch.
I'm joking.
It is true. Zach is a bitch.
Fonz didn't skip a beat. He's like, you a bitch.
He wanted to call you something way worse, but he's like, I'll just PG
Yeah,
it for
I
the
had to
show.
hold back. I had to hold back.
You're a
And I
bitch.
apologize to everybody out there.
everybody's like, Zalker, no. I'm like, nah, dude, come on, I'm fucking with y'all.
It did have some of the best combat though, which Anthem stole.
Yeah, no, it did. It really, the combat was really well done. Like that's the thing, and they took it. Like Anthem basically took it, and that's the best thing about Anthem was the combat. Like the controls were great. Everything else sucked. But
the flying in that game was so good. So
was
fucking
actually good.
And
It
so you
was.
flew into a loading screen on the same map. You're just like flying across the map and all of a sudden loading. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Hey, by the way, shout out to TL Prodigies. He said would be amazing if EA could revive Black Box. That was a studio, right? Somebody refresh Fonz.
EA Black Box?
Is it a studio or a game?
isn't that the people that did they did like Need for Speed? I think. Let me Google.
Black Box. Thanks, Google. Also,
Google.
shout out to
Yeah.
Sickness Gaming.
Yeah, they're the ones that made Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed The Run, like all of them back in the old early 2000s, like Underground 2 and stuff like that. They were the developers on those.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, maybe they are still there in spirit and employee. We don't know. The nameplate may have changed, but some of the people might not have. But we've also got to shout out to Sickness Gaming. He says, "LOL dealer. Oh, let dealer be. What's wrong with 2K? You're right. There's nothing wrong with 2K. It's actually pretty good.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Except when you spend 50 days on it.
Well, hey, I got to make up for the rest of my panel, chat. I'm sorry. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward here. Fonz, did you know that there is somebody built in Assassin's Creed? What was that? Did one of you say it was Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really? I did not see
it's
that.
An Assassin's Creed concept in Unreal Engine 5 in World War II. And it looks pretty damn amazing. It shows you what people are building in practically no time on UE5. And again, I don't believe that it's just as slow as past engines to work in. A lot of its workflow is literally built around speeding all that up and even giving you the ability to change animations in different parts of the engine that you weren't able to do before. Like, there's a bunch of cool stuff about it. But to say this, hopefully we get some of that shit on console soon. Because that Matrix demo still
I'm
blows
looking at
people's
that.
mind.
So it's Assassin's Creed World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a concept.
Looks pretty good.
And a guy
Yeah.
that works at Arby's built it in one day, probably. I'm always...
You know what? That's what's pretty phenomenal is the fact that Unreal Engine 5, it seems to be something that where these developers anyway can really build stuff pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is promising for the future of games. Is if they can get these engines to help them create things faster, we get games faster, and that's awesome.
Hargy
Like,
has been a
they're
big
also-
proponent of, hey, these games are taking forever to make. I want some damn games now, Hargy. This has got to make you a little bit excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trailer, right? That's the problem, right? And my fear is that when a AAA developer sees this, they're like, "Oh, cool, we'll remake all the assets ourselves. We'll make it look that good. Oh, about 20 years, we'll have that game out." I'm like, I
shit.
don't want 20 years, dude. Like,
Yeah, it does
Not
take
to
quite a
mention
while.
how demanding UE5 is right now with a lot of the features.
Yeah.
They need to get that stuff underway too. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 to 3 years, man, of developers optimizing the shit out of this. The demanding part of it is some of these demos that people are building brings 4090s to their fucking knees.
Yeah.
They're barely getting 60.
There's no
so it's
drivers for the damn game. 'Cause it's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
game.
and so they're like, yeah, we need this, we need to optimize it, and this makes me think back, right, to the coalition, and they're like, hey, you're not going to hear from us for a while because we're going to just hone in on UE5 and hone in on these fucking features because they are the wizards. They are like the best Unreal Engine developers. Like they're insane.
Salker, they
And
built out
so-
that Matrix demo, full ray tracing, everything all at once on a Series
Yep.
S.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah,
that.
That's why it ran like garbage.
No, I mean it ran like garbage. Even
Such a
though there are no real, like I said, there's a ton of optimizations they can still do. But think about that. In the first year of the console's life, or a year and a half, they built something like that, and that's the only reason a lot of people even think that stuff's possible in this hardware because no one else has even dropped a game on the engine yet.
It's so freaking weird. If you guys haven't seen this trailer for the Assassin's Creed thing
Concept.
here for WW2, the concept, him shooting machine guns is just weird to see. It's fucking weird.
It's a
because
weird
he's got
concept.
the same kind of garb on, you know, he's got that robe and everything. It doesn't fit at all with the environment. Like they should have changed that up.
Look, we didn't say he's going to get a
But-
job at Ubisoft. I mean,
But it was weird though. It's just weird to see, you know, this character shooting a machine gun. It's
And
crazy.
I will say for Unreal Engine 5, we're gonna start seeing more of it. Like I know Fortnite's on it right now, but to see
Yeah.
all the games that are coming out soon for it, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Redfall's in Unreal Engine 5. Like there's some games coming out like that's going to be using it, and we want to see how well optimized it is. Right?
Hellblade 2, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hellblade 2. And I didn't know, me and Hargy were talking, was it yesterday or the day before, Hargy? Like, we were like, wait, Redfall's Unreal Engine 5? And we looked it up, and sure enough, it's Unreal Engine 5.
Well,
30
look at
FPS
Fortnite.
confirmed.
It's Unreal Engine 5. So, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't
hope
know if
it's
they'll
not-
use the new features though, right? So
Yeah, like
We'll
the
see.
nanite and the lumen. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
it'll use all those features that are like kind of like for next gen, so to
damn,
speak.
man. I'd say, you know what else they're not using? The ability to
Their
lock down
brains?
some damn games. Because Sony are using this ability. They got the fucking power on they're spamming this power. All right, they're doing the same thing again with the exclusivity. Right? They're locking down Forspoken. It's been confirmed for 2 years, which is again that's pretty big for people that wanted to play.
wait, they're not thinking
lady.
about Xbox gamers though.
but,
That's fucked up.
Jim Ryan said he
They're not
was.
thinking about the
Listen-
Xbox gamer.
Listen, Jesse, we're not
Who do
normally
we
this
cry
toxic.
to?
We're
Who do
not-
we cry to about this?
We're not normally this toxic, Jesse, but Jim Ryan promised us that he cared about the consumer, and that's why the Activision deal shouldn't go through because he'd be taking games away from consumers. But he's literally paying companies not to put games on Xbox. The Forspoken for 2 years, and now Final Fantasy, which one's
Yeah.
16
for 5,000. It's exclusive for 6 months confirmed.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's going on? Is this a double standard? He lying his ass off.
Yeah, obviously the double standard, but dude, here's the thing: is I don't trust Jim Ryan, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy in particular, because I'm still waiting for Final Fantasy VII remake on Xbox. That's why I still haven't picked it up yet.
It's in his
It's
pocket.
never coming.
He has it.
Yeah, no, it's never coming. That's absolutely right. And I'm pretty sure when it was announced the second time, because that game was delayed massively, Square Enix said at the time it was a PlayStation timed exclusive for 1 year. I think is what they said.
Yep.
yeah, it
That
was
came
on
out,
the
what, like
box.
3 years ago now? 2 years, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's going on 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
great.
crazy.
Still waiting.
How many of you are waiting on Final Fantasy in the chat? By the way, let us know. It's been several years, and I thought Jim Ryan was telling us the truth, but it looks like they're locking down even more stuff. They're literally just paying people not to put it on Xbox.
Not
Xbox has
putting
done
it
it
on
in the
Game
past,
Pass
but
too.
Xbox has done it in the past, but they're not sitting there,
Yeah.
talking about how they're taking games or others are taking games away from consumers and then doing it. It's a little different, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
little
and to be fair, Xbox is doing it with a huge game right now, and they have to kind of skirt around it with Starfield by being like, we're not taking it away from the consumer. We just want to give players the option wherever Game Pass exists. It's like, so not PlayStation.
Well, they're
own that
paying
one.
for the damn game though, like they're
Right, and-
producing it, you know?
Right, and it's justifiable, but it is a thing where obviously when Starfield was announced, it was under the assumption that everyone would have it, and then of course things changed where they bought Bethesda in the process of development. But
Shit, I remember at one time they were saying, Sony guys were running around saying it was going to be a PS5 exclusive. Remember
because
that?
They
Yeah.
tried to get it as one of those
yeah,
deals.
apparently
Yep.
that's how the story goes. Yeah.
So
What
yeah.
kind of a monster would do that?
Stupid. Hey, shout out
Hey,
to
Joe.
shout out to 800 people watching this live, guys. Hit the like button, tell the buddies we're live. We got some more topics, and obviously let us know your thoughts. We do appreciate you guys in the chat, and I'm gonna mess around with this new QA thing they got going on YouTube as well, and maybe get some questions from you guys too in there. But
QA.
yeah, there's
I
something
don't
they
know
added
about
in
it.
there. Yeah, it's a little.
Nice.
a new
By the way,
thing.
I know a lot of people that like. I remember when Final Fantasy went for free. I think it was on PlayStation Plus, and it was like for the month or whatever, one of the monthly games. Everybody's like, "It's coming to Xbox now." They're
Right.
just trying to, and it still didn't come. So it's like at this point,
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna play Final Fantasy, either
Yeah.
get it on PlayStation or get it on PC.
You know,
Yeah,
here's
that's
the funny
all.
thing.
I'll just play
So-
Persona instead.
I was talking with, I think it was
Trash.
Ashtray Gaming about this, and we were discussing, you know, the possibilities of, or at least why Xbox this year, you know, having not a lot of first party AAA games being put into Game Pass, why they didn't like go after some of these multiplats. And one thing that I think it was Ashtray that brought up, he was like, you know, maybe they didn't do it or with certain games because they couldn't. Maybe there was something in the contract that Sony put in
Right.
place that barred them from going to Game Pass. And it's interesting because that could be very well it for some of these games.
I mean, that's already been proven through the
Yep.
legislation. Like that legislations of during this whole thing in Brazil, where like Xbox literally has called them out in front of all these people, saying you bar games from coming to Game Pass. Like you prevent publishers from putting anything on Game Pass through your contracts. So that MLB The Show thing that we talked about a year ago, Fonz, you were fucking right. They signed a
Yeah.
bad contract,
Bad
or
contract.
Sony at least did.
I told you
And
there's
now-
bad contracts out there.
And now, well, I mean, apparently now there's a shit ton of bad contracts out there for fucking Game Pass
Yeah,
because like
obviously.
they're blocking it.
I would really, because I thought that they would probably try to go after like Gotham Knights. I mean, because that seemed like a perfect, you know, shoe in to go into Game Pass or whatever. But you know, Ashtray could be right. They could have blocked that. They could have had something in that contract that stated you cannot put it in Game Pass.
Or they
For at
went,
least
or
a
they,
year.
or they went there and they saw it's running at like 25 frames per second.
They're
Like,
like,
never
"Fuck
mind.
this."
They
Yeah.
put the
I think they would've gone
checkbook
with-
back.
I think
in
that
there.
was what it was, though. I think you're right. I think they actually had a blocking, and it wasn't marketing. It was just to block. So they just paid
Yeah.
them just to block it. The problem with this, and this is going to be interesting now, regulators are going to see this, right? This is Sony blocking another mechanism or another avenue for you to buy games, right? This is a
Yep.
new marketing methodology, and they're specifically blocking. Imagine if that happened with Warner blocking Netflix, saying you can't go to Universal and get a movie, you can't go to Disney and get a movie. That's impossibly ridiculous, right? But that is what they're doing.
Get them hard.
And it's
They're using their market
anti-consumer.
power to do it.
It's anti-consumer as well, like because they
It
are,
is.
and that's why the people like, you know, these regulators need to stay on top of stuff like that. It's because at the end of the day it affects the consumers and it affects my wallet. It affects where if I get to play this game at all, really. Because what if I only had an Xbox, you know, and they're preventing me from playing it on Game Pass? I can only afford Game Pass, let's say, okay? So that's all I do is play Game Pass games, and they're preventing games from going into Game Pass. They're preventing that value to consumers. It's fucking anti-consumer. It's just not right.
is.
It's ridiculous.
Just so everybody knows, you can play because I made sure I looked it up on the Xbox app on PC. You can buy Forspoken.
Yeah.
So you can play it on the
it has
Xbox
the
app on
achievements,
PC.
too. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. It's got.
Um,
Let me see if it has.
Someone just said that in the
achievements.
chat, actually. Big shout out to Cloak
That game
Comics.
still does not look good. I don't think Forspoken looks very good at all. People saw her like on a
we
surfboard
go.
thing, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm buying this!" I'm like,
It looks good
"For
to me,
what?"
man. I can't even lie. It
Let's
looks
wait for the
pretty
game
good
to come out.
You shall not Game
yeah.
Pass. Shout out to Freestar. But yeah, I mean, for Forspoken, I don't know. Is anyone going to play it on PlayStation 5? Are you going to wait? I don't know anyone who's personally excited for it.
I'm definitely going
If
to
I'm
wait for
playing
that.
it,
PC.
if I'm playing it, I'm going PC.
Yeah,
I'll play it on.
It's there on the
PlayStation
Xbox
if
app
it's-
right there on
if it's
PC.
good.
It's like, why not?
that's it.
Bitch,
No
Yeah,
brainer.
I can't do what I did with Gotham Knights, you know, based on just the dialogue, the cringe dialogue that we saw in the trailers and stuff. Gotham Knights was marketed all freaking wrong. All freaking wrong. And I feel like Forspoken it is being marketed kind of wrong too. If that's the case, if we only see the cringe dialogue and stuff within these trailers, but the game comes out and it's freaking amazing, or at least decent like Gotham Knights is, you know, so I can't speak ahead and say, yeah, the game's going to be trash. So far from the way it looks, it doesn't look appealing to me, but that could change with reviews and you know, people I trust and if they like the game, that sort of thing. So we'll have to
Splendiferous
see.
has something to say that he's right. What the hell happened to Kena Bridge of Spirits? Wasn't that supposed to come to Xbox as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wonder when
that's-
that's
Was it? I don't
Damn it,
remember.
I was waiting on
Is
that
this
one.
supposed to go on the Switch too?
Maybe. I don't know if it'll run on that.
Good
fucking
luck
thing.
that running on the Switch.
Are
Papa
you
Smurf,
sure?
by
I
the
mean,
way, says
Witcher
Dig
3
Dug
is on
2
the
is coming
Switch.
day and date to all platforms. I hope so. But yeah, I mean, Kena, I don't know if it run on the Switch. Maybe if at 180i and checkerboarded with
Kena
low
was
textures.
okay. The game is not great to me, but
Visually, it was fantastic. though.
Visually, it was a nice looking game, but the game itself, it was like playing an old, like not last generation, but previous to that, like
What?
7th generation.
Oh, you're talking
game.
about like mechanics wise.
It was
Mechanically.
their first. It was that studio's first game like ever. Like
Yeah.
they were animators, I think, for like Pixar or some shit. Like, and they were really good at what they did, so they wanted to make a video game. I bought that game at the beginning of the year on PC on sale, and then Elden Ring came out, and I totally forgot I fucking own it. I just looked it up. I was like, didn't I buy this? And I
Yeah,
have it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's right here.
1000 G.
Never
Yeah,
played it.
I was in the middle of it and I moved on to something else when something else dropped, and I just never went back, and I probably won't. It is what it is.
Just
It's
like
a
Horizon,
nice
right?
little indie game.
It's hard for you to-
Horizon. No, Horizon's just dead boring. That's a different topic altogether. Horizon Forbidden West is just a boring
I'm sorry,
game.
Jesse. We're not
I
going
had
to
a
this
nice
topic.
little rant. I had a nice little rant on this on my last show with Astray about Horizon. It's just not. It's just a boring game. It's too wordy, too much unnecessary dialogue. And before anybody says this, because I've seen it before, it's an RPG. Of course, there's going to be a lot of unnecessary dialogue. But you know what? A lot of that unnecessary dialogue is at least interesting.
That was one of
There's
the problems
nothing
with Mass
interesting
Effect
here.
Andromeda. Is it had everyone has something to say, but you didn't give a fuck. I had toast this morning. Like,
Exactly.
I don't need to
Exactly.
know any of that, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I get where you're coming from with that.
You know what? And you know the people, in the chat always go to this when I make rants on games like this. They always go, "Does Fonz like anything?" I just got through saying that I ended up liking Gotham Knights. I had a great time with it. Like, I love open world games. So when I see,
After we dealt with your negative Gotham Knight hating ass for
yeah, look, the
motherfucker.
trailers were terrible to me. Fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever gonna mow you
I
again.
remember telling you when you were ranting about that damn line, like, look, it's the trailer. You know,
Yeah,
it probably ain't gonna be that bad, but I heard you liked getting mowed on in that game, so that's all that really matters.
the game itself is good. The combat is good. It's a solid title. I think the reviewers got it wrong in a lot of areas, and we've talked about this.
Well, you know what else we got to talk about? Something else, because this I don't even remember what the topic was now. It was the
Final Fantasy.
Final
We're now-
Fantasy. Real quick
Yes.
question, chat, because ultimately
good.
you're the end all be all here, right? A lot of perspectives. We add them up, and sometimes the math works out. Are these timed exclusives starting to get to you? Are these tactics working? Because if it's starting to get to you, and you're looking forward to some of these games, that means that Jim Ryan knows what you like and what you don't like, and he knows that you're thinking about getting something else to play those games you really want. So, is that stuff getting to you? Is it working? Because I know it is for some people. Don't you lie. I'll know when you're lying.
I'm actually I'm really sick of it, and it's and it's kind of funny because like Xbox does have time exclusives, right? Like Dark Tide, so and it's stuff like that. But overall, like I don't know, I just getting annoying. Like especially big games like Final Fantasy. It's like seriously, man, like that's just big. And then even like Deathloop and Ghostwire, like all these things. Like I get if you funded it and it's like your game, like you helped publish it, you helped fund it, and you just have a third party. Like, I get all that, but if you're just like, hey, just don't put it here, lock it down here for an exclusive, that just gets kind of annoying. Like, I just don't care about it. Like, just stop fucking doing it. Let it go wherever we want. Let people play wherever they want, and that's it.
No, there's an opposite effect to this stuff, too. Street Fighter V, I forgot all about it because they locked it down to that platform, and I never, ever ended up investing in any of the software from those guys regarding Street Fighter because they missed out on that in the long run, and it really makes me forget why I might have liked Street Fighter to begin with. Now it's all Mortal Kombat, stuff like that when I do play fighting games. It can kind of offer that mentality as well where you're like, fuck those guys. I'm not going to support the things they do put out because they're buying shit up and making sure no one else can enjoy it. That's also a thing.
That happens.
This is going to backfire on them, especially with this Activision deal that's going on right now. This is definitely going to blow up in their faces. It shows a level of hypocrisy that's just unbearable. I'm tired. Like the 1-2 game, I understand the need for it, right? But Sony just does it. They just abuse this exclusivity on their platform with third-party games that everybody should be enjoying. And I'm tired of it, man. And
let me ask you this. I'm sure you guys have talked about this on a previous episode or something, but what do you think about the ongoing rumor about Sony trying to buy Square Enix to some extent? because it just seems like it's lining up more and more with. It just seems like the one publisher they have the most of this kind of in-bed relationship with repeatedly tends to be Square Enix.
I would say there is some. I would say that like there might be some like truth to that rumor, because when you look at them getting rid of Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, you find out later that Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics both have contracts with Xbox.
Right.
Eidos Montreal is working with Fable, right, on Playground Games with Fable, and then Crystal Dynamics obviously is with the Initiative. So when you look at those things, I'm not saying that like them and Sony have the greatest relationship, but I am thinking that Sony is looking like, because that's what Sony in general relies on PlayStation a lot for a lot of the money making and the profits that they make within the company. So they're going to try to double down and obviously battle and compete to get any studios. And if you look at what they've done now, like, I don't know if you guys know this, like they just hired the Battle Pass expert from Fortnite. Sony did. Because of what do you call it? Factions.
Battle Pass.
Naughty Dog hired them. Like he's a multiplayer, apparently, like games as a service expert.
And as we're seeing, Battle Passes, you know how you do them. It's kind of important, right? So
yeah,
good
so
idea.
they hired that guy. They hired that guy, and so they're not fucking around, man. Like people could sit there and be like, "Oh, Xbox is fucking doing it." Like, nah, man. Everybody's competing, and that's what we want, but not the money-hatting horse shit.
Yeah, because I mean, somebody said in the chat. Timed exclusives are worse than general exclusives, depending on your outlook. And I would say that is 100% correct, because you are literally, again, paying people to not put a game somewhere, you know, to make your own look more enticing. And while that is business, I guess fundamentally there's nothing wrong within that realm. It does suck for consumers, you know, it really does. By the way, Zach, you want to get a few of these chats and we can move forward on the topic. Big shout out to everyone watching, guys. Let us know what you think about exclusives in the live chat.
I felt like Hargi, did you have something to say really quick before?
Yeah, so I disagree on that idea with Square Enix, and the reason is because Square made those deals when Xbox was on death row and couldn't fund anything anyway. And for Square, those games are more appealing to Asian and European markets, and Xbox has no market share there. So it just makes sense for them. I don't think Square necessarily is against Microsoft in any way, and they've been partnering quite a bit over the last few years when Microsoft finally decided, oh, hey, we have money now, and they've started investing. And almost all of the Final Fantasies are in Game Pass, right? That happened, right? They had one of their games go in day and date, a AAA game, right? So they've done that. I don't think Square's in any way not partnering with Microsoft, and I'm pretty sure what's her name, Sarah Bond, actually said we have a great partnership with Square Enix specifically, right? And so I just don't think that's the case. I think they are working with them, and I don't see why Microsoft wouldn't also be a good target to pick them up.
Yeah, I think you're on the money, Hargi, 100%, because when it comes down to it, these are businesses, and they're going to do what's right for their bottom end. That's how it is, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Microsoft don't necessarily need much of an install base anywhere anymore. Once this cloud technology comes on, every phone is a potential user. I think that's a long haul game, but I think you definitely have a good point there.
Dragon Quest and a bunch of other games that dropped on Game Pass. Yeah, like they do have a pretty good relationship with them. That's why I was like, but I also think that money talks, everything else walks. And if Sony wants to fucking buy them or do something, I'm sure they'll do that. It has nothing to do with against Xbox or anything. It's just business at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't feel like any way too strongly. I could go either way on this, but I do think there is still a lot to read into. A lot of the Square Enix support you see on Xbox is a little bit of like, here's some access to our back catalog to kind of appease you, while the stuff they're doing with PlayStation really is like sending a message. So that's the only reason why I think it is worth looking into. The only exception would be when Xbox got Octopath Traveler and PlayStation just didn't. And then Square Enix went brain dead, and they're like, okay, now PlayStation gets Octopath Traveler 2 and Xbox doesn't. It's like, okay, well, now you're just going insane.
Which one of y'all likes this more?
Money. I'm sure it was just money, and Microsoft offered this much, Sony offered more, and they took it, right? And that's just the way it goes. But that's good. It's good for Square Enix, right? You have competition for your games. That's awesome.
Square Enix is doing a lot of this shit, though. It's like, did they pay to fund it, or did they pay to keep it off another platform? That's like the difference, I guess.
That is the big difference, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zalker, grab some of these chats and we'll move forward, bro.
Yeah, I got you. So we got, let me scroll up, actually. Holy shit. We got, damn, there was a lot. We got Me Puppet 007. He says, member for 35 months. RDX is the best gaming podcast out there.
Read the next few. Go ahead.
Fuck you. We got
Saving
we
some time.
got we got Sickness Gaming. He says, "Let dealer be what is wrong with 2K."
He's saying, "Let me be. What is wrong with 2K?" He forgot the comma, but shout out to him. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got Cloaked Onyx. He says, "Forspoken will be available on day one on PC, Xbox app," which I just said. I doubt it will be in Game Pass. No, it's not coming to
No.
Game Pass day and date.
Not day one.
Then we got Cloaky Nix again. He says, "Am I crazy or is something off about the main character's face of Forspoken? Her face is uncanny valley for me."
Jesus.
Jesus. I have no idea.
I'm
I
pretty
didn't
sure
really
it looks
look at
just
her
like
face.
the real chick, man. I don't know. No idea.
No,
we got
I think he's just saying it looks more realistic than the rest of her in,
Yeah.
in the game itself.
Yeah.
And that's probably true. The face does look really good.
I haven't really
and I
just sat
hope,
there and
like
looked at it.
Fonz, like you said, it would like the story is actually good because the writers are supposed to be pretty well known, right? So maybe it is just cringy, stupid trailer, and it turns
Yeah.
out like
They
Gotham
really
Knights.
I care
push
more.
Mama
I
for
care.
this, man.
They
I
got
care
Amy
more about
coming
the
on it.
goddamn gameplay, man. If the gameplay
Yeah,
is good,
we'll
I'll
see.
just fucking skip the cutscene. I don't care.
Until you play a game that you're like, the story's so good, like God of War.
Well, if it has that good mix, that's the point.
All right,
God of War's gameplay is better than the
it's
goddamn
about-
story.
No, they're both amazing, but it's everything. You don't got to
No.
pick one or the other. You can like everything, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said a mix of both.
So let's I'm
We got
looking
Splendiferous,
Good.
member for 13 months. Says FM Fonz, rant and rave. I love it, man. That's why I come to RDX. We want Fonz.
thank
We
you.
want Fonz. Shout out to all my peeps, man, and hit that like button. Fonz is a bitch. Thanks, man. That was great.
Zoka is a toddler.
We want Fonz. We want Fonz too.
Hey, man, I'm happy Fonz is here, man. When he wasn't going to show up, I was a little sad.
Yeah.
We got Cloaked Onyx. To the guy who thought Horizon Forbidden West was boring, did you think Mass Effect 2 was boring? Because Horizon Forbidden West felt similar to Mass Effect 2. Example,
You don't-
loyalty
what-
missions.
Oh my God.
Hey, the guy.
I'm
Was
about-
Mass Effect and Horizon the same?
Look, if you were in the room with me right now, I would burn you alive. for saying that.
Jesus Christ!
He's just
no,
kidding.
I'm kidding.
was
But
stabbing
Mass Effect 2, you're comparing the dialogue from Mass Effect 2 to the dialogue of Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a good idea.
insane. That's insane. Yes, the loyalty missions were so much better in Mass Effect 2 because I gave a shit about the characters in Mass Effect 2. I could care less about any of those tribes in Horizon Forbidden West, let alone care about the protagonist because she's boring as shit.
Ugh.
Man,
Take it easy
Mass
on-
Effect 2 is so much better.
Al-
So much
Alloy.
better.
Yeah,
God.
I mean, she's
Yo,
always
hot take. They both suck.
yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
piece of shit.
Yeah, you,
just
I'll stab Zucker for that one. Yeah.
fuck all y'all dialogue.
Did
He's
you,
all
did you,
online
did you
today,
catch yourself
bitch.
on those?
No, I got one
Okay,
more.
good.
We got Riskit. Riskit. He's a member for 8 months. Thanks, man. He says, I don't support Square Enix or Platinum Games, not just because of exclusives, but because of the way they behave toward Xbox plus the West in general.
You know what? He's got a point. Hideki, when the guy says you don't speak English, I'm blocking you. Fuck that guy. You know,
I mean, if you don't speak Japanese, I'm
or
blocking
yeah,
you.
if you don't speak Japanese, like that kind of shit. I don't know why motherfuckers get away with that, right? But again, like that guy has been
I
has
already
a track
blocked you.
record of being a fuckface, and I blocked him on. I'm gonna block him on Twitter. Actually, I forgot. Just for even saying that shit, it's ridiculous. If you don't speak Japanese, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And the way they
fucked up.
treated
I'm
some
gonna
of their
Google.
deals
I'm
in the
gonna
past.
Google translate into Japanese. Fuck you. And just send it to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please do. That's a good comment.
Translate it into English too for him, just in case. But yeah, I mean, that guy, Briscoe's definitely got a point. Some of those guys definitely don't give a fuck about any of their fans on the certain platforms, and maybe it's financial, maybe it's not. But I don't know. That's just too much to tell when you're releasing 8 other games while you're making Scalebound, and then you can't even finish Scalebound. Maybe put priorities differently, perhaps. But anyway, hey, Phil just did a recent interview. I wanted to cover this real quick as well. A lot of people think the cloud is definitely the immediate future, and you know all the fear mongering when xCloud was first announced and all this stuff. But he's saying that cloud gaming is not even, their plan. We don't plan on seeing a major transformation there even in the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, it's such a long-term vision. I think the big growth and stuff, again, we talked about it, but it's coming from PC for at least the immediate future. And then the step after that is getting onto, every device connected to the internet through cloud, right?
I think it's also, like we've talked about this 1,000 times. Like the cloud, we always said is like what, 5 to 10 years away.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Like like for it to be viable for people, the biggest growth, and we saw it at their E3. Like the biggest growth is PC, and they did it with the Riot games, all that other shit. Like it's going to be massive, and that's where they see the most growth. And then I think the in 5 years, their biggest like pie in the sky is mobile, because I think what they want to do, like I'm not going to be like, I know everybody's talking about like them getting studios and stuff, but I think they're going to try to get some mobile studios that make mobile games.
Yeah, they're doing it right
So I know not just King, I'm talking about others.
Yeah.
Like I think that's going to be their big growth, because you're not going to reach
King
3
is pretty
billion
massive
gamers.
on their own, so that's
Yeah, no,
that's a
and
big
it
one.
is, but I think they're going to try to get more. So
Yeah.
I,
No,
you know,
of
they're
course.
Square
of
is
course.
also a very large mobile developer.
Yeah,
so.
Square is, and so is in them getting Activision, not just King, but also Blizzard makes
Yeah,
mobile games that are insane too, right? They have a shit ton. Like
Diablo,
so-
you got Activision's Call of Duty on mobile. You got all kinds of shit on mobile that they're going to be pushing for
And
sure.
some people
Hearthstone.
actually play that shit too. Some of you might.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know about you guys, but I played
A lot of
Hearthstone like a
people
lot.
play that.
I know there's a lot.
there's
like,
a-
install
there's a
base is
guy-
that big. They got to be, have a good number.
There's a guy at my job that plays the Call of Duty mobile every night with an Xbox controller. He's got his phone hooked up to it, and he sits there and plays during his breaks. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Killing bitches on my break. Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't do it myself, but some people definitely they enjoy it, man, and that's what it's all about. Play your favorite pared down, tiered back versions of your games on your cell phone, and it sucks, but it's still an option, man. There's people that went through.
Dealer died to the circle trying to
died
get
to a
away.
circle. Yeah, I almost got.
You're on your
I've
little
been
boat.
there.
Dude, that was pretty
I've
epic,
been there
actually. We
before.
were,
Yeah.
Ashtray was watching the kill cam, and that was fun. I guess I want to move forward here because there's nothing surprising about that, right? Phil's talking about the cloud, not going to be the big transformation in the next 3 to 5 years. They're fully aware of that. There's no need to fear monger. That stupid shit never was.
Yeah, he was also talking about.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for
Oh my
you
God.
that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
He also said that Call of Duty is going to always ship on a PlayStation as long as there is a PlayStation to ship on.
Which was never
He
in
also
doubt.
said
Yeah,
that.
that's what he did say. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
like
thing that was in
he's-
doubt was
Damn it.
what exactly, what part, what version, all that stuff. How, are they going to ship it day and date? All that crap, right?
Yeah, and not to mention he talked about Game Pass not being like, he's like Game Pass, like at some point he's like, we've reached the people we're gonna reach on console and all this stuff. He's talked about that a lot, and he said that Game Pass is never gonna be reach more than 15% of like their income, right? Like their overall income on Xbox. And he said the income might get bigger because our
Yeah,
our
exactly.
thing gets bigger, but it's not gonna exceed 15 to 20%. He's like
Yeah.
that's not what our Game Pass isn't our all be all. And that's what he said.
I like the way he said that too. He's like, but the overall growth may get bigger, but it's like, bitch, that Game Pass is your freaking end goal. Like, come on, man.
It's
Like,
one
we
of
all
them.
see that. I think it's a big one though. It's a massive one, and I think that they're really downplaying the success of Game Pass or the possibilities of great success with Game Pass in the future. And yes, I agree with Hargeet when it comes to. There's always a limit to how many users are going to be on Game Pass, especially on a particular platform, because you've got a limit on sales and all that. Eventually, things are going to slow down. But we're only 2 years into the generation, and we've had consoles that some people still can't get a hold of a Series X. So there's going to be a lot of growth still to come, and there's going to be a lot of growth within Game Pass alone. On every platform it's on, of course, because, well, the games that are being built right now that people are excited for.
Yeah.
Starfield is going to start all that off next year.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
and-
Risk It, by
and
the way.
Risk
He says they said they'll treat COD like Minecraft. Yeah, again, it doesn't really matter what they say. We've literally watched
we've
them
seen
say
this
we're going to
before.
release Bethesda games first and best on Xbox, and it'll go everywhere. And then that changed. So that's why I said. in
Can you
videos
imagine
about
if
it,
they like,
"Nah,
if
wait."
like after the deal is done, they're like, all right, new IP, Gun of Duty. They're just done, and it's just like exclusive, and people are like, wait, and they're like flipping everybody
Hang on,
off.
Why is this year's COD so stripped down? Yeah, I don't know.
And then, can you imagine Gun of Duty, and then it's just God, like get
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
we have Warzone for you, PlayStation.
Yeah, there's Warzone and there's some other free shit, and it's coming to the Switch too, and it's amazing. You know what else is amazing is this. Well, I don't know if it's amazing for everyone, but first off, we already talked about FSR 2.0. 3.0 was confirmed.
2.1.
2.1. You're right. 3.0 was confirmed to be a thing, and that's apparently potentially possible to come to Xbox as well. I'll let D-Batch cover some more of that. But they also sent out a questionnaire to some guys. It was a very, very limited amount of people that got this, by the way. But some of the people in the Insider program got a questionnaire about a new graphics performance setting on their Xbox Series X. And what this is designed to do is to appease people that, want to look out for the environment, but also don't mind if their $500 console isn't fully leveraged. And they would basically enable the console to run at lower resolutions or frame rates if you wanted to save some money on your power bill or something like that. That's something that they're just kind of teasing around with right now. Also, why would you buy a $500 console if you're worried about some of that stuff?
The environment. Yeah,
a lot of that is used. A lot of that is used for like Steam Deck has that. So if you're running a game like Vampire Survivors that doesn't take a lot of graphical thing, you could put like your GPU's power output really low, and you still get like 60 frames because it's not a demanding game.
But it's got a battery.
So you save battery. This is what it reminded me of. Like they're like, you could just save some shit on your power bill and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like this is cool. I guess I like it because it's cool, right? But I'm not gonna ever fucking use it because
it'd be interesting to like it like that. How much could
why would
save
anybody why would anybody even really like that? Like, look, playing the
I like
dark,
having more control.
I
like having more
candlelight.
You're saying like find your savings elsewhere.
Yeah, find your savings elsewhere. Exactly. Don't use your microwave that night you're going to game. I don't know. There's other things you can do to save more energy than to just, go down 10 frames in your game. Yeah, gimp your game for the Earth. I don't know, man. Like,
so
it's
they're
just
doing this
odd.
because of the ESG score, right? They're doing this to get environmental brownie points, right? That's why
they're going to put Energy Star on the front of every one of their boxes because it has the ability.
Literally, right? Because companies are rated on this shit. So
that's what I was going to say as well, because they're pushing that hard in Microsoft with like their Surface division right now. They have like that new mouse that's like 100% biorenewable or whatever they say.
yeah, literally, that's what they do it for. Yeah,
it's like made out of paper, basically.
It degrades in your hand as you sweat on it.
As you sweat, yeah.
That's fun, but again, it's like shipping an OLED, and it's in energy saver mode by default. That's why you hear people say HDR is overrated, because motherfuckers never took it out of energy saver mode and never really saw HDR.
And they leave that god awful smooth motion on with the freaking soap opera effect going on.
Energy
You mean the
Star,
high fidelity?
Yeah, it's Energy Star. That's all that matters to them. So yeah, I wouldn't want to hold the system back from doing what I bought it to do. I guess no, I couldn't.
That's think about a PC guy who just bought a 4090 and then he's asked, "Do you want to pare back your settings so you can save the environment?" And nobody's going to say yes to that.
I think it's power bill stuff too, but it'd be interesting to see what something like that would do. If it would make up any difference, or it could probably make $8 a month, 9, 10, maybe with less performance.
I don't think that.
That's a Starbucks, bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, don't buy a coffee that week. How about that?
It's like asking, do you get good gas mileage on a Corvette? I'm like, I bought a fucking Corvette. Like,
Facts,
care what the fucking gas mileage.
More is better, but that's not why I'm buying it. More is better, but that's not why I'm buying it.
Yeah, if I wanted to save the planet, I'd buy a Series S.
And the worst thing is that like, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm looking at it, but I'm like, why are you advertising this so much? Like, what's fucking happening? Like, who cares?
Yeah, I have no idea. But D-Batch, I do want to ask, because you made a video on this, FSR 3, they did confirm that. What are some of the details, like the difference between 3 and 2.0, and what do you think the odds are that it's coming to the consoles, RDNA 2 supported? Fucking D-Batch.
D-Batch.
I was on mute. My bad. So Frank is here over at AMD. Confirmed that the reason why FSR 3 isn't coming out with RDNA 3 GPUs at launch is because they wanted it to get it to work on the older hardware and the old RX GPUs, as well as RDNA 1, RDNA 2, and NVIDIA GPUs. So logically, you would expect this to be on the Xbox Series X because, of course, it's RDNA 2. And if they're going to get this to work on the first generation of RDNA cards, then it's kind of a no-brainer that it would be available on the Xbox Series X. Now, of course, we're gonna have to wait to get an official announcement for it, but I do anticipate it to come onto the Series X. Now, FSR 3, it kind of works like DLSS 3, where it generates frames. So it's kind of like an interpolation, like a deep learning frame generator, I guess. So it kind of makes frames that aren't there to give you the option,
So it uses AI now to predict,
Yeah,
to take that data and predict what's going to be on the screen next.
sort of, sort of, and it adds frames that aren't really there. So it gives you a perceived smoothness that you wouldn't normally get. Now, I'm on the fence on DLSS 3 because it is good technology. Some of the artifacts on DLSS 3 are a little bit annoying, and it is new technology, so I do expect it to get better with time. And of course, we don't know how FSR 3 will be, if maybe they don't have any artifacts or they have less artifacts. But nonetheless, it will improve performance by a lot. The performance is 2 times more than FSR 2 provides. So that's a huge uptick on performance. Now, since we're on the topic of FSR, I just want to kind of confirm it here. It is officially on the Xbox Series X. It's for PC and next generation consoles. It's in their
Talking about 2.1.
Yeah. They fixed the issue with cross progression saves from Xbox One to the PC or PlayStation. So this is officially live. And also too, FSR 2.2, which is the new version of FSR. They cleaned up, like I said earlier in the show, they cleaned up some of the ghosting and some of the little issues that were present in some of the image quality with FSR 2. They cleaned it up with FSR 2.2, and that is officially coming to Forza Horizon 5. Now, first they're going to roll this out on PC, so of course it's going to trickle down to the consoles later. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah. And Forza Horizon 5 will also support enhanced ray tracing on PC. So you will now have PC ray tracing on free roam races and some
actual
other races.
Ray tracing, basically.
Yeah, actual ray tracing. So that's a plus, and of course it's offering FSR 2.2. Now, once that comes to the console, that's going to make ray tracing a lot better on that, because you're not going to get the huge performance hit that
not only that, you're talking about I actually mentioned this in the video, you're talking about a scenario where you bring something like that to the game, because right now it doesn't use anything like that. It's just running native, right? And
correct,
you're talking about 120 FPS mode popping up in the game potentially. You're talking about increased settings, and they should look at getting some version of ray tracing running on track on console, which and they need to do that. They need to figure it out. And even Halo's ray tracing, they announced that shit. What the fuck? Like, there's not even, it's not even reflective first. It's more shadows, right?
Shadows, ray
It's like,
tracing.
what were you showing us all that time ago? Hire that motherfucker that built the demo, because he needs to get him over there. That dude's a wizard. He built something that looked really, really impressive. And again, like, it was just contracted out to somebody, and that guy built something extremely impressive. And unfortunately, none of that stuff's ever going to probably come to Halo, ray traced reflections or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
it came on PC, I think, didn't it? Like, this update.
Also, too, I believe the Forza Horizon 5 patch enabling all of this, I think it went live today. Actually, either went live today or it's going live tonight. So
yeah, there was a pretty big patch today. So
I think it went live. So right now, if you have a PC, if you're subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate, you can play this right now with FSR 2.2 and enhanced ray tracing. And I can't wait till it comes to the consoles. And I understand, of course, it's important to get it on PC, but in my honest opinion, I think it's even more important to get it on the consoles because they have less performance than the PC. So it needs to be a priority to be on the consoles as well. So I don't know, I got to ask some questions. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the GDK, but they need to fix this so it's easy for these developers to implement this, because on PC, every other game we're seeing this being implemented. So get it running on the consoles. It's a big selling point. Like, if you have this on the consoles for the holiday season with the lack of games that you have right now, this would be a selling point that, hey, you can play Forza Horizon 5 with FSR 2.2 and ray tracing on the Xbox Series X and S consoles. That's a selling point.
Yeah, and Bedtime said it perfectly. He said they're updating FSR more than the games they're actually supporting when they come out, right? So you get more updates for FSR than games are actually even hitting. And that's what I'm saying. Like, developers have to use this stuff. It's got to be readily available, which, from what I hear, it's in the GDK. We know that for a fact. It's been reported on. and as well as other features, BC Pack and many more that just are not leveraged either because developers don't need them or some other resource-driven reason. I have no idea. But again, that's our last topic, D-Bash. You capped it off perfectly. FSR 3 is great, and I would love to be more in talking about it and giving a shit. But until I see fucking FSR more shit, stuff, then I just don't care as much. Scorn used FSR 2.0, which is great. But yeah, I mean, again, games got to come out for that stuff to happen.
That's kind of how I feel about I feel like that with ray tracing right now, on console anyway. It's like most of the time, all I see is just, ray trace shadows, and I don't really see a big difference, and I don't care for it, I know there was supposedly ray tracing or something in Gotham Knights that was forced or something, but again, it's there's nothing there that I'm looking at that I'm wowed about. So for me right now, things like that, features and stuff, I just have to see them implemented and used well before I can get hype on it.
Yeah.
So,
and too, I think that because I did confirm this with the lead technical guy behind Dirt 5. We did a show with him over on Game of Daily, and he, I asked him about physics being put on ray tracing hardware. Again, that's like something that I figured they could do. They do it with NVIDIA hardware accelerated physics with PhysX. They call it NVIDIA GameWorks now, but something like that being put on that dedicated RT hardware, is possible, according to him. And it's a theory. It's something I've been talking about for years. If you got something like PhysX on console, that's the biggest game changer I've ever seen on PC, ever. And if something like that, became something that they had some kind of API for or made it easier for developers to do, that would be pretty massive. But again, that's just rambling. Thank you guys for watching, guys. We know it's dead. And we just appreciate you guys for showing up, supporting the show, and letting us know your thoughts. There's some good thoughts in there, especially about God of War. We love it. Let us know if you're playing it. Jesse, you have any thoughts, final thoughts or anything? I know we didn't come to you as much as I wanted to. A lot of different shit going on in the background here. What are some of your final thoughts on, some of the topics, or maybe something we missed that maybe you remember?
Sonic Frontiers is out as of today. Don't sleep on this game. It rocks.
So you did play that one?
Yeah, I'm a huge Sonic fan.
Oh, man.
Unironically.
No, I'm just kidding. So you do like it more than the last ones. I haven't played Sonic.
I just got booted from the chat. What's going on? Okay. yeah. I actually think it's really good. I know it's fun to hate on Sonic. I think deservedly so for the most part. But this game's actually really cool. If you like platformers or collectathons, or thought at any point Sonic was ever any good, I think this is one that'll bring it back a little bit. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe Fonz probably, statistically, without asking him, he probably does hate it. But me, I don't hate Sonic. I got all the classics, the arcades. I even bought the new one that's remade to be widescreen and actually fit the screen and everything. It's like one of those classic games you could throw up when, your nieces and nephews comes over, or you just want to play something at a party that you don't got to pay attention to. Like, it's a good platformer. Every time I think Sonic games, I think the 2000s, 360 Sonic games that, for the most part, were not great.
Didn't do too good.
Yeah, and maybe they just haven't done it justice, I guess. But, more power to you. If you're getting a great Sonic game, do you know what the Metascore is at?
It's at 73 right now.
That's really high for Sonic. That's like a 90.
Yeah, that's like a 90 game.
You're such a fuck face.
No, I mean, I'm serious. Like, it is better than a lot of them.
Recently. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Well, again, Jesse, tell people where they can find you, man.
Yeah.
What you've been playing and, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I host a Xbox podcast as well. It's called Xbox On. It goes live every Thursday on all the podcast services as well as YouTube, where basically I just ramble on and on about the news of Xbox, and we deviate a lot, talk about food. But that's about it for me. I'll be playing some Modern Warfare 2, some Sonic Frontiers, and checking out that Halo update this weekend. So I just appreciate you guys having me on the show. It's fun getting to chat with you guys. So that's really all I have.
It's cool having you on, man. Thank you for joining us. And D-Batch, tell people what you've been playing and where can people find you, man.
I've been playing a lot of God of War this week, just getting ready for the midnight release tonight. I've been playing it on PC, and God of War, I kind of skipped it. I didn't really skip it when it was on the PlayStation. I played it, but I kind of got sick of the 30 FPS, and I said, you know what, I'll wait. And I'm glad I waited, but at least this time we're going to have a 1440p 60 FPS mode, like a 4K 40 FPS mode. So it should be a lot more enjoyable this time around. So I will play it. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I just did a video yesterday actually on the FSR 3 and all the benefits and why I believe it's coming to the Xbox Series X, and I gave you details on the new AMD RDNA 3 architecture. So you guys can check out that video on my YouTube channel, D-Batch, and catch me on Twitter at D_Batch, soon to be checkmarked. Yeah.
What?
Oh my
check
God.
mark, blue check. Coming.
Yeah, there's some. Can anyone get those now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
you
much,
just pay $8 and you get it.
Finally, all the power taken away from these frauds.
What's good is that I can, all these imposters, I can finally get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they want to pay $8 a month to impersonate you.
Talking to
Well,
you,
no, they have to show
biatch.
proof. They have to show proof.
That's hey man, if somebody impersonates you for $8, you know they serious.
So this is what we're talking about, Chad. If we're on Twitter, a lot of blue check marks on there, and apparently they're off for $8 a month. You too can have one of them there check marks next to your name, your little head,
They
and your little
said
picture.
they said that
I
they're
wanna
going to
feel
create
special.
another one for people that want status. Like
Well, I don't understand what the fuck the point is. I mean, I know it's money,
Yeah.
but it's just weird.
I know at the end of the day, because I mean, this whole thing was supposed to be about verification anyway, right? So you didn't get information from the wrong person. And that's what it was, but it became like a status symbol for these, people out there. And I wanted to say something else, but it became gross to me. The fact that some of these people carried it like it was a badge of honor.
And
And
a
it's
lot
like,
of times
dude, you
those are
ain't
motherfuckers
shit.
that
You're a
don't know
person.
shit. Yeah, it's weird.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Like at the end of the day, you're a person, just like the
Yeah.
rest of us,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Check mark, not a check mark. I mean, I think the check mark on YouTube is cool because even though people don't really see it, right? Obviously, you're watching a video, but it keeps the real accounts at least as the ones that are real and not fake imposters. Like there's people in chats all across YouTube
Yep.
or comment sections that try to impersonate people like me. I've had like these guys come back over and over and over in the comments on videos to tell people they want a PS5 or an Xbox and to text me on Telegram. Like, does that sound like me? Am I fucking British? Am I eating a crumpet right now? Like, and people, unfortunately, will actually fall for this. And that's why I've had to put out posts on YouTube saying, hey, there's people impersonating me. Their name's not the same. Nothing's the same. Click on it. Don't even go to my channel. But the picture's the same. And that's all it takes. And now, again, check marks. I don't know. The whole Twitter check mark thing, it's kind of pointless. But yeah, it will make them money, I guess. I don't think anyone really wins. Everyone's just
I think
gonna have check
it
marks.
actually it's a win for people that want to verify.
But now it means nothing.
And no, it's a win for people that have trolls that do pretend to be them. I mean, I've got a troll out there who does.
Look, a
this
real
and
troll, a
uses
dedicated
pictures and
troll.
stuff.
Shout out to the OGs. They're going to pay that
Yeah.
$8 and they're going to follow your ass everywhere forever.
No, because you have to verify with your ID and
What?
stuff.
Oh, they got your ID.
Speaking of trolls, Fonz, the other day I was looking, just to check out your channel to see some videos, and I found another person with the same name as you, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, there's like 3 people with the same YouTube name. It's weird.
Okay. So
and
is
you were
this-
definitely the first. That's for sure.
I don't know, because you just changed it recently, kind of. So you might
Yeah.
not be.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not the first, but yeah. But
You
I'm
will be the
best.
last.
I don't care.
Hey, Pons, tell people where they can
You are
find you,
the
man.
real
What,
one.
what you been playing?
I've been playing. Well, I played the shit out of Gotham Knights. I beat it. I'm ready for God of War now. I give that game a 7.5 out of 10. By the way, I thought it was a really solid game, fun. A few things holding it back. One of those things is, of course, the 30 frames, and also a couple of the missions were just very lackluster and not very good, in my opinion. And it just kind of held it back. But 7.5, that's a great score. It was a really solid game. The combat's really good. If you're into, Spider-Man, Arkham games, that sort of thing, I definitely try it out. But if you want that 60 frames, though, I don't think a patch is coming, but who knows? We've heard developers say before they couldn't do 60 frames, and then they put out a patch later,
Yeah.
and they do 60 frames. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows if they'll
But-
ever get my money? Umber says $8 check
they're
marks.
good.
Here they come.
You can find me at Fonz Gaming here on YouTube and Fonz Gaming on Twitter, and that's about it.
That's it. Tell them where your TikTok's at.
At Fonz Gaming on TikTok, where I'm doing nothing but dances and stuff. I'm having a great time.
Do you guys know Tim Dog
See,
has a
you should see
TikTok?
his sturdy. His sturdy is so good.
Shut the fuck up, Peter.
He does have a TikTok. Tim Dog does have one.
I know he does.
And he's, oh man. Yeah, I'm not, we'll leave that to Tim next week. Zucker, what have you been playing and where can people find you?
You guys know where you can find me, Zalker87 on YouTube, Zalker87 on Twitter. I've been playing a shit ton. I got like 40 hours in Gotham Knights. Beat it this weekend or this past weekend. Fucking loved every second of it. Good game. I recommend everybody check it out. Like Fonz has been saying, I'm glad that he's liked it now. And then I've also been playing a couple games like Space Marine, the old one, right? Like Warhammer 40k Space Marine on the Steam Deck. Game runs fucking great on there. It's a lot of fun, 60 frames. Really enjoying it because, I don't know, just Warhammer and stuff like that. And then I got God of War pre-downloaded and ready to go. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Why don't you beat Elden Ring already?
I'm waiting for the DLC. I don't want it to end, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't want it. I literally got
So
to
you
the.
wanted,
I got
you
I got
wanted
to
Gotham Knights and everything else you love to end, but not that game.
No, dude, I just don't want it because I got to the last, the big city with the tornadoes and stuff, and then like after that, and I was like, I just don't like. I was like, I don't want it to end. I was like 200
He got a little
plus
samey,
hours.
didn't it?
No, I didn't want to finish it.
You wanted
I
a
was
little
just like,
break
nope.
for a little
Will
story
you
time,
finish
didn't
God
you?
of War?
I will fucking definitely finish God of War.
So Elden Ring Gotti, automatic. There you go.
Elden Ring game of the year, baby. Elden Ring's like almost like the game of the last 15 years for me. Like I fucking love it.
Then
Like, I just
go
couldn't
beat
get
it, you
enough.
fuck.
No.
All right.
Don't tell me what to do.
Hargy,
Zoka is a
what
toddler.
have you been playing and where can people find you, bud?
Yeah, so I've been playing Nobody Saves the World, a little bit of Gotham Knights as well. Hoping to play a bit of Halo now that the update's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people can find me on Game on Daily, we generally are on the podcast, but we at 4 p.m.s on Eastern time on Saturdays, go live, gameondaily.com and youtube.com/gameondaily. And the big question from that Gears of War movie is going to be, will we see Phoenix cheeks?
Oh my God! Why you gotta fucking put that into the world?
Marcus cheeking, yeah.
Why you gotta put that into the universe? Hey, all I gotta say is John Bernthal as Dom. That's all I gotta say. Like literally, put Punisher as Dom.
Yeah, Danny
That'd be pretty
DeVito.
good.
Danny DeVito should be Marcus.
Can you imagine Danny DeVito with a big ass fucking gun? Just
TTS Gaming says, can't believe the Xbox channel. Nobody's playing Gunfire Reborn, a non-Xbox game.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, buddy. I mean, let us know if you played. I heard good things.
Yeah, I have it.
Did you play
I
it?
have
good.
it downloaded. I haven't.
Yeah, I
yet.
played it. I played it a lot on the Steam Deck. It's good. It's fun.
Steam Deck.
You gonna boot it up on Xbox?
Never,
Okay.
because I want FSR.
Yeah, 8K 30 frames, and then we got. Did I get everybody? Did I forget somebody? I probably did, didn't I? No. Yes. Okay. No one said anything. Follow me here if you want to watch this podcast sometimes, and obviously on Twitter at @dealer_gaming, Xbox Live. Most importantly, let me know if you want a friend request back. I'll send one back, and you can find me there at ii_dealer_ii. I will be making a video this upcoming week, so stick around if you like those, and obviously let us know your thoughts. And thanks for all the support, guys, especially all of the guys that turn up in the Patreon members, all the people in the Discord and stuff. If you want that link, let me know as well. But we are going to get off here and go play Call of Duty some more, probably.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, I've been playing a shit ton of that too. There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
right,
me
well,
too.
me next. D-Batch, play with us, okay? Send me a friend request. I'll deny it. All right, I'm out.
Later, everybody.
It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap.
Nice.
It's a wrap.